Just shopping with my boyfriend, no big deal.
I'm Natalie.
I'm Marielle, and this is Wind Down After The Bachelor. Tea Time Edition.
Episode 8
of The Bachelor.
It's getting real, y'all.
Okay, I had so many notes. My notes is like, just keeps going and going.
Oh my gosh, this is like a novel, people.
This is like notes for like the other episodes too.
Oh.
Like, I just wanted to be dramatic.
So, my first OMG moment is, it takes place in the town of Hoaxie.
Okay.
With our little friend, Raven. The date was like, it was so country bumpkin. They start out at a water tower, and then there's this really weird, lame staged officer thing when it's like, oh no, I'm gonna get arrested. She's like, no, it's my brother, he's the town cop.
I thought it was gonna be like her dad or something.
Yeah,
like her uncle.
I thought so too. I was just really confused. I was like, this is so awkward. Why would they stage a fake police thing on the tower?
There's literally nothing else to do in that town.
Yeah, there is nothing. And then their ATV riding, like, it was amazing. But actually my OMG moment was a cute thing that her mom said. So when Raven's mom was giving her relationship advice, she said it just needs to be really easy. You know that he's the one when it's easy. And I just thought that is so true, people.
Yeah.
Relationship wise, like,
I do too.
when it's like obviously you go through stuff and like there's passion and everything, but you should never feel like it's hard to be with someone. It needs to be easy and make you feel like the best version of yourself. So I thought that was a cute OMG moment because it sort of stuck with me.
Well, what stuck with me was my first OMG moment was within this date, and you sort of touched on it, post ATV ride, the swamp wrestling.
Oh my gosh.
I guess I had never seen or heard of swamp wrestling before, but they literally got down in a swamp and were like rolling around in the swamp. Okay, I'm not talking about like mud wrestling where it's sort of a little bit more common. They were in a motherfucking swamp. It was like pinning her down in the water, and she's like grabbing the grass and throwing it in his face. I'm like, this isn't seaweed. This is like a cesspool of probably animal shit and bacteria.
It was so gross.
It was disgusting.
And then like she slowly takes off his shirt. Like, I was just like,
I was
so gross.
There's no way that happened naturally. Yeah, like I feel like the producers were probably just like, you guys need to like get in the swamp and wrestle because like we don't have enough footage from today, and like there's like literally nothing else to do in the town, so like you're gonna have to get in the swamp and wrestle.
It was amazing. My second OMG moment would be Rachel's hometown date.
I thought it was so funny at dinner. Nick was the life of the party at that dinner. He was like, okra? Of course I know what okra is. Rachel wouldn't like it because she doesn't like anything. Like, he had everyone eating out of the palm of his hand at dinner. I thought that was so unexpected and hilarious. What did you think about the dad not being there? Did you read into that at all, that he wasn't there?
That you think that like he didn't want to be on it?
Kind of, yeah. He's like some high kind of judge. You know, duty calls when you really have a real job.
Yeah, but also it was just like he maybe fell above this whole
didn't want to like tarnish his reputation. Like,
so what was your second OMG moment?
When it came back from commercial and it was like Miami, Florida, Corinne's hometown. I haven't been that excited for anything since Christmas when I was 4 years old.
I squealed. I full on squealed.
It was just like, I didn't realize how excited I was until it was like about to go into Corinne's hometown. And
I just want to see her whole life. Like, she should have her own reality show.
She really should. So yeah, there were a lot of moments on the date where I was just like, oh geez. But I think my OMG moment was when, you know how they normally, the person like talking to different members of the family. So it shows Corinne talking to her dad, and then it shows Nick talking to Raquel.
Oh, that was so
one-on-one. And like he was talking to her, he's like, you know, the truth is, you know, I am dating 3 other women, and so it's hard. And she was just like, And I was like, this woman probably has no idea
what he's saying.
What the fuck is going on? What he's saying? Like, I just thought it was hilarious that he had like one-on-one time with Raquel to like get her approval as well. Like, he didn't even it didn't show him having one-on-one time with the sister, but it showed him having it with Raquel.
This is part of my third OMG moment because the whole day in itself, like Corinne taking him shopping, like I was like half in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, half in Clueless.
Yeah.
How Nick said that when she took him shopping, all the store owners were so excited.
Yeah.
They all knew who she was, and then he said it was like Christmas morning to them seeing Corinne.
Here she comes. Here comes Santa Claus.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Here comes Corinne Claus. I thought it was really funny how Nick was like, I'm gonna have to get a few jobs. And I was like, don't you mean you're gonna have to get a job? Being a professional Bachelor contestant is not a job.
No, it's not.
I mean, maybe it is, I don't know.
And then Corinne goes, she's like, I do know how to treat a man. Like,
yeah, how did you feel about her buying everything for him? It did feel like she was trying to buy his affections.
Oh, 100% she was trying to do that.
Because it's like she basically thinks that like taking him on a shopping spree every day will make him happy. It was a really interesting like role reversal.
Yeah, it was. It was like Pretty Woman, but like Nick.
Yeah, Nick walks out of the store and he's like, big mistake, huge.
What was your third OMG moment?
Nick's conversation with Vanessa's dad, where he won't give Nick his blessing. Like that, he was basically just like, show if it comes to the end and like we want to get engaged and stuff, like that cool with you? Like he was like, he was asking in such a disrespectful way that I was almost like, why even do that? Like why even bring that up now? Because as Vanessa's dad pointed out, it's a little disrespectful and weird when he's aware that Nick just asked 3 other dads, presumably, the same question. I really like your daughter.
Yeah, and I think even what Ben did last season by calling the dad and asking the girl for the marriage, I think that is way better because like if you don't know by the time that the hometown dates happen who your person is, at least wait until the proposal.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it that he can't make it obvious. You know, he can't just ask one because then it would give it away. But he shouldn't have really broached that at all, I don't think. I think like you said, he should have waited until the end and called the dad and been like, hey, remember me? Like we met a week ago. I'd like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. And then that would have been more special. Like seeing the show through Vanessa's family's eyes really made it clear that like this show is fucked up. This show is weird. It's not normal. It's not okay. It's very bizarre, and you're getting these 4 women to the point where like each one of them thinks that they're your girlfriend and like thinks.
And they really do. Like that brings up my third OMG moment with Vanessa.
Yeah.
When her dad, he said Nick asked for your hand in marriage, and then he goes, but he also asked the 3 other women too.
That was
And then
really
in that
awkward.
moment, like Vanessa just like shut down. Because in her mind, I think that she's always thought that she is the front contender.
Yeah.
And that her and Nick have something special that he doesn't have with the other girls.
Next week, I think, is when it goes. Well, there should have been a rose ceremony at the end of this week. Mm-hmm. It should have gone from 4 to 3, I thought. I don't know. I think Corinne will probably go home next.
Except I still feel like he wants her in the fantasy suite.
Oh, yeah,
which is so gross.
Is that the last 3 or the last 2? I think it's the last
3 now.
That's right.
So gross.
So gross. So weird.
Ugh.
I hope they change the sheets.
Ugh.
I mean, the fantasy suite episode, like, get ready. Get ready. Oh!
Friend's dream is coming true.
I have a little very exciting little epilogue or like little side note. When my boyfriend was here, we went to go hike to the Hollywood sign. And we're walking and all of a sudden I was like, oh my god, there's Ben. Oh my god, there's Ben Higgins. And he was with 2 guys, and it just looked to me at first, I was like, oh, he's just like hiking with 2 of his pals. And so I turned to my boyfriend, and he can be not the most subtle, so I was like, I have to be very careful how I don't want it to be like, Ben who? So I was like, that's Ben Higgins. And like, he's just like, oh my god. So then we like turn the corner, and like that's where you start like walking up the incline to like get closer to the sign. And he was literally like, he was walking kind of like crossing directly in our path, and then at that moment I looked up and saw Lauren, and I was like, oh my god.
How little was she in real life?
Tiny. She like looked at us and was like on her phone. Ben literally I basically like walked into, we were like trying to like walk around, so I was like, hi. Tyler was like, whatever, like he could just be like some other guy that we're seeing on the hike, so I said hi. I said hi back. And then we get to the like top, and there were these like vans and cars and like a town car, and I'm like, what's going on? And like all these camera people, I was like, oh, they're filming for their show.
Yeah.
So that was
Ben, what was he like in real life?
He was really, I wasn't as much of a fan of him as you were. He looked like an athlete. Like he looked like, I wouldn't have been surprised if he was like a pro basketball player or something. He seemed cool. But Lauren, on the other hand, it just seems like someone's like holding a gun to her head and being like, you need to do this. Like, it's like, she just seems like really kind of like annoyed, and keep in mind this was like and we were up there for like 10 minutes, like walking around, and they were standing there, so like we were kind of like, I was trying not to like stare at them too much. Anyway, it was very exciting. It was like exciting. You know when you have friends in town and you're like, oh, I hope we, like, not for me anymore, but like the first few years I lived here, I was always like, I hope we see someone, because that would just make their trip.
Thank you so much for watching
Wind Down After The Bachelor. Leave a comment down below letting us know what your favorite part of this episode was and what you think will happen next week.
Cheers, darling.
Cheers.